Hello there and welcome. My name is Linda and this is my channel Linda T70. If you're a returning viewer, thank you so much for coming back. And if you are a subscriber or you've commented to me in the past on my previous videos, thank you so much for doing that. It's really appreciated. If you just happened on me, well, I hope you stay and watch the whole video and catch up on any of the other videos I've got. There's quite a few. As you can probably see, a bit scary. I'm going to do a get ready with me, as in chat to you while I put my makeup on. And I don't know how well you can see because I'm battling, as I always do, with the light and can't see anything with glasses and can see. I've been up in the loft today and I think you can see on my bed this is ginormous suitcase. So last year, when the summer came to an end, in the interest of making some space, which I know lots of you do, I put some stuff in the loft. So it all went in this ginormous suitcase. We bought this suitcase to take on holiday, but of course it's far too big for if you go abroad. So it's basically been sitting up there doing nothing for ages. So anyway, it's now got a purpose. So I thought it's about time to bring it down and see what I've got, see what I can use and fit into this year or that I still like. And if not, I will donate. I don't bother putting things on Vinted and stuff. I'd rather give it to a charity shop. So I'm going to have a quick look through, and if you're interested in that, you can skip this bit if you want, and perhaps if you're interested in the other bit, or just stick with me all the time. That would be great, of course. A couple of things that I just wanted to say before I get started. Obviously I've got wet hair, and I just want to show you something that I've been using that has been helping with a little bit of a thing that's going on with my scalp. And yes, I think that's basically it. I've got a couple of things to chat to you about, so I'll do my best with this video. I don't know how well you'll be able, I'm doing the thing. I don't know how well you'll be able to see everything, but hopefully you'll get the idea, and we'll take it from there. So just before we start, the first thing to just show you, as I've got wet hair, is, well, I could show you when I've got dry hair, couldn't I? But anyway, I don't know if anybody else has had this, but since I've had my menopause, and I have to say about my menopause, I didn't really have too much trouble with it at all. I never took any HRT because I didn't feel like I needed any. I didn't go to the doctor and ask him because I could kind of cope with any symptoms I had. And I sort of regret it now because I think I understand now that taking HRT has got other benefits to it. You know, your skin, your bones, etc. So, and I've been and asked if I can have it now. I mean, I'm 70, so, you know, I finished my menopause a while back. And I've been told that I can't, so that's it. So I have to kind of manage anything that sort of residual things that are going on. And one of the things is patches of dry skin, and I tend to get them in my ears. And I did go to the doctor about that, and they gave me cream. So if they get a bit dry inside, I could just put this cream in. I think it's what's they call it? Hydrocortisone ointment. So I don't use that all the time, but just if they do get a bit dry. And the other place, I keep getting dry patches on my scalp. And I've had this before, years gone by, when I've been stressed. I've noticed it, and I've just bought either some Vosine or some tea gel. I always found worked to treat. But this time I've got a bit of a stubborn patch right here on my temple. So I don't think anyone else has noticed it because my hair covers it. But I don't, you know, and I've spoken to my hairdresser about it, and she doesn't think there's anything untoward going on. I think it's just one of those old age things, when your skin's a bit different, and I suppose this sort of thing happens. So anyway, I was watching old Claudia Winkleman the other day on an advert, and she suggested, I know this is a brand and everything, and I don't know, I thought, well, I don't know whether to try it or not. So she's been advertising this Head and Shoulders shampoo, Head and Shoulders Derma Pro Scalp Care, and there's a complimentary, not complimentary, a conditioner that complements it. So it says soothing comfort for dry, itchy scalp. Now it doesn't really itch very much, and as I say, it's just in, well, I've really just noticed this patch, and I did get a bit round the side here, and that seems to have gone. So it's just this one little patch at the front, which is about the size of perhaps a 10p piece. So I thought, well, I'll give this a go, and it's about, I don't know exactly, but round about £6 each. But when I got it, there was a 3 for 2. So I bought, not on this particular brand, but I think generally in Boots. And so I bought 2 of the conditioners and just 1 of these for the price of 2. And it says, Head and Shoulders Derma Pro Scalp Care, soothing comfort for dry, itchy scalp with cactus extract, active aloe and a vitamin E. And I found the most difficult thing actually in the shower is to, when I put the conditioner on, is to keep it on long enough. So I have made a bit of an effort to do that, to keep it on for as long as I possibly can, the conditioner as well. It says moisturise with cactus extract. I just told you that, clinically proven active ingredient. And I don't know, I can't see all the ingredients, but it must have tea tree in it, because when I put the conditioner on, if it goes on my face, it does feel that, you know, that cold feel. But anyway, I found it's pretty good, have to say. So I didn't use it today. I'm going to try not to use it every single time, although I have used it 3 or 4 times. So I've got a rest from it today, but I just thought I'd show you that. So if you have anything like that, you know, it's worth giving it a try. It's quite expensive, but then if you buy tea gel, that's about 6 or 8 quid or something. So, you know, you've got to pay for these things, haven't you? Okay, so enough on that. So today, just going to do usual, I don't normally put foundation on every day, but as I'm doing this video, I will. So I'm going to start with that. I've got a clean face. I've did my beard the other day, so I shouldn't have too many whiskers. I put moisturiser on, just my Avon moisturiser, nothing fancy. It is quite warm, so I haven't got the heating on or anything. We are now, I think we're about the 9th, or maybe the 10th of April. So we've got a nice sunny day, so hopefully you can see okay. Right, so first thing I'm going to do is put my foundation on, which is my Boots, here we go with the specs, Protect and Perfect Intense Advanced All-in-One Foundation. And I use shade, God, isn't that annoying? The little thing they put the shade on, it wears away, doesn't it? I don't know, but it's SPF 50 plus, it says. So we'll put this on. I've used it before and probably told you the shade before, but I usually go for some sort of natural or beige colour, and it seems to be okay. So right, we'll put some of that on. I don't use very much, just a little, not even a pea really. But let's just put this on. So I've got my 10 times or 8 times magnified mirror here, because I have to use that, like all of us oldies. So I'm just putting it on with my fingers. I've tried using a sponge, I've tried using, brushes. It's just as easy to use your fingers. I don't think I look any better or worse, whatever way I do it. So, and I know I should be putting 7 sorts of serum and stuff on, but I've forgotten. So it's just literally foundation on top of moisturiser, which is old school. That's what I used to do when I was young, I think. No one, you know, back in the day, no one had serums and primers and whatever. So you wonder if we need it, or whether it's just something else that makes money for people. Who knows? Anyway, so there's just that little amount on there. I know, I look fantastic, don't I? I didn't get it out of my drawer. I usually put this putty Lasting Perfection Stretch Concealer, and it's an eyeshadow primer, and this one is by Collection, just a little pot. So I would usually put that on. I've said this before when I've done a makeup video. if I spend 10 minutes doing it or 2 hours, I look exactly the same. So I don't really fuss about with it too much. I mean, I kind of think I'm a bit weird, really. Well, you probably know that if you watch me regularly, but I'm not really. I wear makeup. I nearly always put something on my face every day, but I'm not somebody who wants to try everything and buy all these different brands. And you know, people that spend hoots of money on certain brands, I think, well, I mean, I've tried it in my past. You know, as I said, well, you don't know that, but I have. I have spent money in the past, but I don't think this little number 7. Honestly, I'm so pleased that I found it, and I think I don't know how I can't remember how I discovered it now. Perhaps I just gave it a try, and then my friend said, "Oh yeah, I use that." So there we go. My shiny face. So we've got a bit of foundation. We've got the primer stuff on my eyelids, because obviously they get all wrinkly, don't they, when you're getting on to be an old lady. Well, what am I saying? I'm an old lady. For the sake of, I'm not going to put 6 different shades of eyeshadow on, just for quickness. This is a Shadow Pop from 17, which I quite like. It goes on nicely. This is Mocha, shade Mocha. It's got a bit of a sheen to it. I always used to avoid anything sheeny. I always used to go for matte eyeshadows, which always were really difficult to find a selection of colours in, but they does seem to be better now. You tend to get them in these palettes that you buy. But this one I'm just going to pop on with my little brush. And again, I know people have 28 brushes they use. I basically use a blusher brush. I've got one with a sort of little wedge end on, which is for under eye, which I know I'm too old to have under eye stuff on, but I still do it. And this little one here is just, I've got a couple that are like that. So, and I just tap them a bit. So I'm just going to put this all across my eyelid. I was something that I have been asked a couple of times by my viewers that have commented is about the current husband thing. I talk about the current husband, and a few people have I mean, I kind of thought it was sort of self-explanatory, but so I thought perhaps I'd explain that a bit more to you, because a few people have said to me, "Oh, what's all that about? Is there some sort of backstory behind this?" And it's just a bit of a joke, really, between me and my husband. The story is that when I was 18, I met the person that became my first husband. I went to work in a Co-op department store in Burnt Oak, and it was just like, if you remember that comedy show Grace Brothers, it was like 2 steps away from that. It was like old ladies who were probably younger than I am now, selling. I worked on the tights counter. Can you imagine having a whole counter selling tights to people? It was full of sort of dusty old people, the staff, I mean. But then on Saturdays the place came alive, because all the Saturday people came in, and they were all young. Now I got a job there full time, and there were a couple of us younger people that worked there full time, but mostly it was dusty old people. I can say that now, a dusty old person. And we used to have such great fun. We used to go to the pub at lunchtime on a Saturday. I mean, can you imagine? You'd never go to not when you had to go back to work. We used to go to parties and have parties. It was great, and we were all, some of them were coupled up, but I wasn't. I was, I hadn't really had a boyfriend up until then. I was 18. No, I think I would have been 18. Anyway, fast forward a bit. I met my first husband, where I met somebody who became my boyfriend, and then 5 years later we ended up getting married. And that would have been in the 70s. That would be 1976. Just going to put some of this under No, I'm going to put a slightly darker shadow underneath. We ended up getting married after 5 years. So I'd already been with him for 5 years when we, you know, from 90, I think we started going out in 1970 or 71. And we got married and had a nice life, and we had our children. And then I suppose we'd been married, actually married, I don't know, it was 20 years or something. And sometimes relationships, it just kind of hit a point where there was nothing terrible went on. I've got no sad story, luckily. But anyway, we split up and eventually got divorced. And I have to say, I have got the best, I think, the best relationship with my children's father. He, you know, he is and was such a nice man, and the fact that we have a good relationship has really benefited my children. It's just made life so easy, and I know that's lucky. If he'd have run off with you know, a dolly bird or something, I probably would have wanted to stab him, and not forgiven him, or you know, vice versa. But it wasn't like that, so we've been very lucky. And this is, by the way, it's just a slightly darker shade of brown I'm putting on. I think this might be collection as well, I'm not sure. So anyway, so we'd been together for probably 25 years plus, and then we weren't together. And then I was going out one night with one of my friends, and met a friend of hers. So he asked me out, and so I started going out with somebody. I suppose I was well, it must have been in my late 40s then. And I was with him for 6 years, but not like a live-in relationship or anything, just sort of going out with each other. At the time my daughter had moved out, and she was living with her partner, and my son was still with me, so there's just me and my son living in our house. And anyway, he wasn't my forever person, so again, not with any drama, we split up after about 6 years. And my friend that I worked with, I used to work full-time then, and she said, "Oh, I know somebody that'd be all right for you." And she talked about this chap because she was in a group of friends that they used to go, you know, just go, the whole crowd of them would go off and do things. And she used to talk about all these stories, and I'd heard his name mentioned quite a few times. And one night I met him, and there was no bells or whistles or anything, and we were at a New Year's Eve thing, and I don't think current husband actually remembers this night very much at all. And I couldn't hear anything he was saying because he'd had a few drinks. And then we met somewhere. Oh, I think he phoned me a week or two later, maybe not even that long, and he asked me out, and I thought, well, because the boyfriend, I was still seeing the boyfriend, but he used to sort of have quite you know, I didn't used to see him all the time, and that particular night I wasn't seeing him, and I thought, well, shall I go out for a drink with this guy who I'm not really particularly interested in, or shall I stay at home and watch Casualty? And I thought, well, I might as well go out, mightn't I? So anyway, and that was the start of that. So I left aside that boyfriend, and I started to go out with current husband. And I did say to him, though, because he's younger than me, and I said, "You do know I was 50, I think, 50 or 51 at the time." And I said, "You do know that what age I am, don't you?" And he said, well, that day, because he was 42, he's a bit younger than me. There's about 9 years between us. And anyway, so that was it. So that's why, so I've got a previous husband. We forget the boyfriend bit in the middle. And I've got a current husband. And it's just a joke because, as I said to you, you know, I've always had a really good relationship with my first husband. And I didn't want to let that go. And current husband has been so good about that, because I mean, some men are a bit sort of narky about these. I think most men probably are. I'm perfectly sure my previous husband hasn't got any designs on me, but and we've been away together. I don't mean the three of us, that would be a bit weird, but we've done family holidays. We all went to Disney in Paris last year, 21 of us, and my current husband obviously was there, and my first husband was there because obviously we share grandchildren. And when I met my current husband, he had 3 children, so we have got 5 children between us, and we are a blended family. And but I think of his children as mine, and vice versa, and all our grandchildren are our grandchildren. So I'm probably telling you too much information, but I know this sort of thing affects an awful lot of women, doesn't it? Especially later in life. And we got married when I was 52, and I got married to my first husband when I was 22, second husband when I was 52. So if I live to 82, we'll have to see, won't we? See if there's anyone else around. No, I mean, as I say, my it's just that Skyline mascara, by the way. The way that current husband is about previous husband and vice versa is really good, and it just makes life easy, you know, if there's any family events or whatever. And some of my grandchildren that aren't my biological grandchildren refer to my previous husband as you know, another granddad, because kids have loads of granddads and grandmas these days, don't they, with broken relationships and new relationships and whatever. But yeah, I mean, he drives me absolutely nuts, my current husband, but honestly I wouldn't be without him. So I do tell him that, because I think sometimes he doubts that. But yeah, so I thought I'd just tell you that. But if there's any questions you want to ask me, because you know, obviously a relationship like that and life just brings you quite a lot of experience, and it's worked out quite well for me. And there was a apart from the Disney thing, a bunch of us just before COVID, we went to Portugal. So we rented a great big house in Portugal, and it was sort of multi-generational. So parents, you know, us being the oldest generation, our children and their children. And there was one occasion where we all had a dinner around this massive table in the garden, and both husbands were sitting together, and there was a space next to them. Somebody said, oh yes, well, I wonder who the next one's going to be in the line. You can all sit together then. But anyway, so I thought I'd tell you that if it's of interest. You might have switched off by now, I don't know. Right, so this Skyline, whatever it is, you know, the Maybelline one that everyone uses, I quite like it on my top lashes. I find in the winter, I don't know if other people do, my lashes always have been pretty good, but I think they are a lot sparser now. And I think this is quite good. I wouldn't say that it's not, but I find it a bit tricky on my bottom lashes, because this eye's got very thin bottom lashes. I don't quite know why. The other one seems okay. But I've also got my trusty Boots 17 one, which I don't know why it's different. It looks to me like the brushes are the same, but I sometimes give that a bit of a try on the bottom lashes. So yeah, so basically all we've got here is we've got the foundation. It goes all over my face now. We've got the foundation, bit of moisturiser, bit of foundation, bit of eyeshadow. I don't know if you can see it all right. Perhaps it looks awful. I'm not really sure. I have to have a look in my distance mirror in a sec. And bit of mascara. Now, like I say, I haven't put any fancy stuff on, or because like I keep saying the same thing. I just look the same if I put concealer on or whatever. It's right. I did put some varnish on my nails this morning, because I thought you might see my nails. When we went to Disney last year, my daughter very kindly paid for all of us ladies that were going to have our nails, like gel, is it gel nails, which were lovely. It was lovely of her. And this was, we went in May last year. By the way, I can thoroughly recommend it. I've been to Disney in America, Disneyland in America, when my children were small. and it was all right, but we were only there for, you know, like over 2 days, a few hours, and then we did some travelling around California, and so I wasn't massively looking forward to the Disney trip, but I thought, now I'm getting older and you don't know how long you're going to be kicking around for, and I thought I want to make some memories because I want the children, grandchildren, to remember me. And I've always avoided having my photograph taken because I just hate looking at myself. It's better now I'm doing this YouTube thing because I kind of got used to how my face moves, which of course you don't know until you watch yourself on a video. I didn't know my face was wonky when I talked because it, you know, no one's ever said. But so I'm not so bad now having it taken. But anyway, so there was like a multi-generational thing, 21 of us, and I forgot where I was going with that. Yeah, so the thing I wanted to say was, if there's any of you out there that get the opportunity, this was just Disney in Paris, go, because I had a terrific time. I was quite brave. I thought, now I'm older, I'm going to start saying yes to doing a few more things, because it's easy just to not, and especially anything that involves the children. Hence we're going to a caravan park in July. So we yeah, if you get the chance, I mean, it was absolutely baking hot when we went in the May bank holiday, when the children were on half term, and it was absolutely boiling, but I don't know, it was just really good. The whole thing was really good. Yes, it's expensive and it's a real treat. It's not something you could repeat very often, but if you're in the situation where maybe your family is suggesting that you go, I mean, you think, because we were from 2 years old up to, I think I was the oldest one, so 70. Well, I wasn't quite 70 then, so but it was good. And we, you know, you just all go off in little groups and do what that group of people likes doing. But anyway, all I mean is, if you get the opportunity, do it, whether it's Paris or California or Florida or anywhere, or Alton Towers, who knows. But I don't think I'd go to Alton Towers or anything like that though, because of the weather. You never know, do you, in this country? Mind you, it rains a lot in France, doesn't it? But there we are. So okay, so the other thing, I've got sun damage or old age spots. I don't know what the difference is on my cheek. And I think I got the thingy out. Oh, here it is. To put, I'll try and cover that up. I've noticed, because I sleep on this side, and I've noticed this is my most wrinkly side. Look, do that. Oh dear. So I'll just bung a bit on there. I don't think it you know, by the time you rub it in, you can see all the things anyway, can't you? The skin damage. Okay. So there's that, and a bit of blusher. I'm not putting any highlighter on because I'm not. A little bit of blush. Let me just turn this round to the not so magnified side. I'm sorry if this is all a bit of a disappointment with me, you know, not really doing anything fancy to my face, but I think I'm beyond all hope, really. So I'm going to put a little line around my lip. I think I've said before, people talk about putting a line across, but I just think that looks a bit daft, so certainly on me, so. It's the whatever happened to Baby Jane thing, isn't it? And it's funny, isn't it, watching people put put lipstick on. It just, the faces you pull, it's like weird. Alright, so just do that, and then I kind of don't really like a look of a line, so. And I've been using this a lot. It's the, I've said this before, I'm sure, this is the what I think is probably Primark lipstick my daughter bought me at Christmas, and I just like this colour, and it's a little bit, oh, I don't know, just like it. So alright. Okay, so what have I forgotten? I don't know. I hope you can see this. I'm sorry if you've had to look at my profile with my big old nose, but yeah, I mean, I'd put something on my eyebrows if I could be bothered, but I can't, and you can't really see my eyebrows because of my fringe. So I'm gonna watch this back and dry my hair, or dry my hair and watch this back, and hopefully it's all right, because I don't really fancy putting all this makeup on again and taking it off and putting it on, so I hope it's all right. And yeah, I'll come back to you and then I'll tell you what I'm doing next. So see you in a bit. I know, you wouldn't know it was the same person, would you? Don't I look different? So I've dried my hair as best I can, put the old specs on, but yeah, so that's the after. I've just watched my video back, and I've just realised that I started rattling on. I started talking about nails, and then I went on about Disney, and I never came back, did I? I always do that. What I was going to say about my nails was when I've had these gel ones stuck on, these are just my nails. They've really not done my nails any favour at all. When we had them done for Disney, so that was May last year, so we're approaching a year ago, I had a devil of a job getting them off. There comes a point where you have to do something, doesn't there, because with the growth of your nail. And I looked at a few tutorials to see how to do it without damaging your nails. But anyway, basically both my thumbnails are really quite badly split, and I don't know, I used to get my nails done regularly quite a few years ago. I think the procedure was different then. I don't know what it would have been called, but it wasn't the same that, you know, you have done now, where you get them baked in an oven, whatever that thing's called. So, and I noticed then that this particular nail was never right. It just was split down the middle, and however much my nail grew, it was still damaged. But eventually, after quite a few years of me trimming it and being careful with it, it was okay. But it's happened again with this nail, and I can only put it down to the false nails, and it's doing it on this thumb as well. Now, it might not be that. It might just be that, given the, you know, like I was saying before about the menopause thing, maybe my nails aren't as good. They've always been pretty good nails, all through my life. So I'm just a bit disappointed that they've done this, and I keep trimming them anyway, and I buy stuff to put on them that makes them stronger, but they still do it. So that was what I was trying to say, was it was lovely to have a treat, and it was lovely while they looked nice while we were away, but I just don't think I'll do that ever again. It's just not worth it. But anyway, so I've looked at the video, and I think I don't know how long, it must be about 25 minutes, so it's probably a bit long to tag the clothes sort out thing on, so I might just put this one up, and then I will perhaps do the clothes one if I get a chance. I'll do it later today or tomorrow, because I've got a couple of days where I'm doing a few things, so I'm not going to be at home all day. What was the other thing I was going to say to you? Oh, that was it, yeah. The garden thing, the gardening video, I know I mentioned this in my previous video about a bit of a makeover in our back garden. I have started filming some bits, but it's a bit of a long process because the weather's been awful. We've had, in the southeast, we've had extreme, like everyone, it's not just us, and other people that live in coastal areas, and those poor folk that are on holiday. This is Easter, the second Easter week. Those poor folk that are on holiday in a caravan park, and they're up to their knickers in seawater. I mean, it's just absolutely dreadful, and I do feel for them. sorry, keep going off, don't I? Yeah, so I am taking a few bits of video or of the garden. It's not finished yet. Poor old current husband's having to, he works all day Monday to Friday, and sometimes he works on Saturday. Do you think he's doing it to keep away from me? Not sure. And so, you know, this week he's been coming home and doing a bit more. So we've taken up all the old artificial grass that had been down for donkey's years. We're trying to work out, and it's got to have been down for about 12 years, and it's lasted pretty well. And as I said before, probably with dogs, I find it a pretty good thing to use. So we've managed, well, I'm not much good because I keep saying to him, I am 70, you know. He's dug out the flower bed he was talking about. He's taken all the decking up. We're not going to replace the decking. That's the plan anyway. He's taken all the artificial grass up, nearly killed him, and it's not been very well. Got rid of most of that rubbish. We've ordered some grass that's coming, some artificial grass that's coming probably in the next 24 hours. And there's been a bit of a hiccup on the membrane front, if you like. So the anti-weed membrane stuff I thought was going to be here already, but it's been delayed. So we've got to get around that. So anyway, I'm telling you all this because if you're interested in this blooming garden video, I will do it, but it's not quite ready yet, and I don't know quite when it'll be ready, but hopefully not too long because I'm itching now. We've got some nice days coming up. Again, fingers crossed. I'm itching to get out there and get it sorted out because I just can't stand it. We've got sand down from the old, which was under the sharp sand, which was under the previous grass, and the dogs keep digging about in it. So it's like with my front room is like the bottom of a bird cage, you know. It's just all this stuff, you can't see it until you tread in it, and it's all, so you're forever getting the hoover out. Anyway, it's a first world problem, isn't it? So I will leave it there for now. Thank you if you've listened to this wittering on, and sorry about keep forgetting what I'm going to say. I will do I'll do the video next of you with, because I'll need your help to help me decide what I'm going to keep and what I'm going to bin. I say bin, I don't mean bin, I mean take to the charity shop. I'm not going to bin anything. I'll probably go through some shoes as well. So I hope you'll watch that one and give me a hand with that. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for regular viewers, new viewers. Thank you for being nice to me, because everyone so far has been ever so nice, and I do really appreciate all your comments. I really love looking at, you know, reading them, and I like to reply. And if I have missed you, always let me know. I do have my daughter, she monitors my comments as well. You know, she likes to try and weed out anything that's not appropriate, but we've not had anything like that yet. There's always time, of course. So she also checks to see if I've missed anybody, because I'd hate to miss anybody. If you take the time to watch me, listen to me rabbit on about nothing really, and want to comment when I ask you about stuff, the least I can do is reply to you and give you a proper reply rather than just that. Just do let me know. Of course, when I'm, you know, I've got millions of followers, it might be a different story, but that's probably not going to happen, is it? Anyway, so you take care of yourselves. I will see you in the next video, and I hope you'll also stay well, and yeah, see you soon. Bye bye then.